Well, hey, this is Pastor Corey over here at Morristown Methodist Church. It is our midweek Wednesday, 12:15, or when you presumably jump on to listen to this. Today, again, my devotion comes from the idea of walls we don't expect. Joshua 6:2-5 says, "See, I have delivered Jericho, marched around the city once a day for 6 days. On the seventh day, march around the town 7 times. When you hear a long blast, have the people shout, then the walls of the town will collapse." That's more of a paraphrase of Joshua 6:2-5. But when you reflect on that story a little bit here, this story often speaks to us about the visible walls, obstacles, crises, divisions. But here's the thing, sometimes walls are less visible, right? Here, fear, uncertainty, distrust. You might have some more you might add to that yourself. But hey, I want to first remind you to come check us out here on Sunday mornings at 9:30 for coffee and donut in our fellowship hall, and then again at 10:30 for our worship experience right in our sanctuary. Hey, we'd love to connect with you, your friends, your neighbor, your loved ones. Somebody may even know, hey, you're looking for someone, you can just share, hey, I run across this guy that says church in Morristown, 221 South Washington Street. That's us here in Morristown Methodist Church, where we want to connect the community to Jesus. So hey, let's jump back to walls we don't expect. So current event insight today. As we know, from the 13th of this month to about the 17th, and it's still we've been seeing some things. Israel conducted military strikes against Iran's nuclear facilities, termed Operation Rising Lion. So Prime Minister Netanyahu referenced Numbers 23:24. People shall rise up against a great lion. See, meanwhile, a rising tension across the G7 summit reflects a world grappling with the walls of national distrust and fear. See, this isn't just about geopolitics. It's not about geopolitics here. I'm not trying to bring politics completely into our studies of talks all the time, but it's about the walls we build. Between nations, among neighbors, even within our own hearts, walls of fear, pride, prejudice can be a far harder dismantle than any physical barrier. So what I'm saying here is, as we devotion of our times, is we have to have a heart check right here. Just as Israel prepared for a spiritual war-like operation, we too face internal operations that test our hearts. Are we building walls of fear over uncertainty? Are we harboring pride, believing we're righteous and others are wrong? Are we erecting barriers of mistrust, withholding friendships or grace? These walls damage relationships with God, others, and even ourselves. So I think we have to call to a spiritual marching. Just like the Israelites circling Jericho or dismantling of walls may not look dramatic. Our dismantling it can take discipline. So maybe you need to circle your fear, bring it to Jesus repeatedly, pray, journal, confess it. Circle your pride, ask for a humble heart, reflect what attitudes do you defend. Circle your mistrust, choose to trust with your words, actions, and prayer. It's repetitive, like walking in its spiritual warfare. Over time, walls begin to fall bit by bit. So maybe here's a little bit of what I think we need to think of. We all matter. Prayer matters. Your steps matter. Love matters. People matter. Life matters. Everything matters. We may not see immediate change in what's around us. But I know that I think what 1 Corinthians 3:11-13 says, for no one can lay any foundation other than the one we already have in Jesus Christ. Each one's work will become clearer, for the day will make it clear. It will be revealed by fire. So I want to I'll just pray real quick. Lord, thank you for bringing our mighty wall breaker, being, I say. Help us not be overwhelmed by fear, pride, or distrust. Teach me to march daily, bringing fears, brokenness, and relationships before you. Burn away the walls and let your truth and love increase. Amen. Amen. So here's what I'm saying. What walls are you shaping your heart lately? What small steps can you take today? Fear, pride to confession, mistrust to trust. How might faithful routine in prayer and love be breaking down barriers over time? So I'm saying, may the God of peace break down every stronghold within you. Let the same spirit that brought down Jericho's walls bring down your walls of fear, pride, and mistrust. Walk in faith today. Again, hey, we'd love to see you, your friends, your neighbor, your loved one. Maybe even somebody you don't know, just invite them to come. Connect with us. 9:30 Coffee and Donuts on Sunday morning, and then worship at 10:30. Hey, may your day be blessed.